Ever wondered what an eighth season of Young Sheldon was going to be about? We have some ideas. Sheldon's academic journey is a cornerstone of the series. As we know, Sheldon isn't the best equipped to socially manage higher education, though he doesn't fare much better as an adult. A young teenage Sheldon Cooper is about to be thrown into a new state, new environment, and new situations without any real safety net. Season 8 can become the connecting bridge to his life at Caltech before he meets Leonard and the gang we know from some small backstory moments in The Big Bang Theory and his manner in the pilot episode. We know that Sheldon has had roommates before, one whom he drives to leave rage-induced graffiti on what becomes Leonard's room. But how did he get to that point? There would likely be some familiar obstacle, similar to what he experienced at East Texas Tech, but without his ability to easily escape. He would have to adapt and overcome. This in itself would make a good story arc, especially if he starts by freaking out in the campus halls and heads to the bus station to get back to Texas. Perhaps he is en route when his logic kicks in. Perhaps he realizes how disgusting the bus is, and perhaps we get the origin of his bus pants. It also wouldn't be far-fetched to believe that Sheldon's incredible scientific mind and insatiable thirst for knowledge end up leading him to work on significant scientific projects. We could see how he becomes so invaluable to Caltech through these achievements. It would also set the foundation for his future in The Big Bang Theory. If a Season 8 of Young Sheldon were ever to appear, we would have some great potential for crossover with the now established Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. It would be an interesting cut for the audience to see Mary, Missy, and Meemaw on the other side of Georgie and Mandy's new family life together, with Georgie's evolution as a father being a focal point, showcasing his struggles, joys, and growth, and Mandy's interactions with her own family being explored. It could be interesting to see how the Coopers are reacting to no longer being a central hub for their eldest son. This could also help pull more canon events from The Big Bang Theory, where we see Georgie holding up the family and working to keep the Coopers afloat, as well as carving his own path with the loss of the primary breadwinner in the Cooper household. The family is going to be facing even more financial hardships, which George Jr. briefly touches on in The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 23, with the challenges of raising their daughter Cece while being a support for the Coopers. It is likely that the couple's bonds would be tested more than once. Mary Cooper's religious attentiveness has always been a loving running joke throughout both Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory, and that is your opinion, but it is noted that Mary Cooper is far deeper into the church scene than she was in her younger maternal days. If there was a Season 8 of Young Sheldon, we would likely see how this came to fruition in the aftermath of George Sr.'s passing. Mary would likely find herself turning more fervently towards God and the church, especially with both her sons having flown the nest and George no longer in the picture. This intensified devotion could easily lead to tensions within the family, especially with her mother, Connie, who does not share the same level of faith, and Missy, who would see this as another thing to detract from her needs as Mary's daughter. This dynamic would offer a rich exploration of belief, grief, and familial bonds. Connie Tucker, affectionately known as Meemaw, might undergo significant changes. The weight of her legal issues and watching her daughter suffer through the loss of George Sr. could prompt her to reassess her lifestyle. This moment of introspection might start her on the path of a more subdued demeanor, contrasting with her previously vivacious personality. However, Meemaw has always been someone who can adapt to life's curveballs with wit and grit. This transformation wouldn't happen overnight, but would be a slow, organic process that shapes her into the more reserved, quietly formidable grandmother we eventually meet in The Big Bang Theory. It would give the show a chance to see how she shifts from the sassy, independent Connie we know in Young Sheldon to the cuddly, soft yet still quietly threatening Meemaw Amy Farrah Fowler meets years later. There is a large disconnect there, and though we don't want Connie to vanish into a pink marshmallow cardigan exactly, there needs to be a sense of shift in her to get to that point. Oh no, wine for me. Sheldon's bringing me my whiskey. Perhaps her legal troubles force her to sell her secret gambling room, cutting off a key part of her income in her old rebellious ways. Maybe the reality of helping Mary support Georgie as a teenage father, while he works to support Mandy and Constant, makes her rethink her priorities and settle into a more traditional grandmother role. A major factor in this change could be her relationship with Dale. Though they've had their ups and downs, Dale has been a stabilizing presence in her life. With George Sr. gone, Meemaw may come to appreciate Dale's steady nature even more, leading to a deeper bond. Perhaps she allows herself to rely on him in ways she never would have previously, which could soften some of her more rebellious tendencies. Alternatively, their relationship might face new challenges as Dale, ever the practical man, pushes her toward a more responsible lifestyle that she will initially resist. I've asked repeatedly, or perhaps the cuddly Meemaw is all just a front, the ultimate con. The series could delve into the mental health struggles faced by the family members, particularly focusing on grief counseling and therapy. This storyline would provide a realistic portrayal of coping mechanisms and the importance of seeking help during times of emotional turmoil. Following the tragic death of her father, George Sr., Missy's rebellious phase becomes even stronger. We have already caught a glimpse of this through Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, but this period would see her challenging authority, experimenting with new identities, and seeking further acknowledgement from her family through extreme means, be it fighting at or even ditching school, or potentially illegal misdemeanors. Such behavior would not only add depth to her character, but also highlight the family's struggle to maintain unity during turbulent times to navigate their collective pain. The Coopers back in Texas might attend family therapy, likely hosted by Pastor Jeff. These sessions could unearth buried emotions, foster understanding, and pave the way for healing, offering viewers a raw and authentic look into the complexities of familial relationships. Away from the collective, Sheldon may be grappling with his father's death by retreating further into his intellectual pursuits as a coping mechanism. This withdrawal would explain why he had no contact with either Georgie or Missy for so long once he moved to Caltech. Mary and possibly Meemaw are likely the only family members Sheldon would stay in touch with in working through their familial grief. Collectively, there is a chance for Missy to finally come out from her brother's shadows and realize that there is more to her than just acting out. So she's seen with so little known about Missy across the now 3 TV shows. It is a great opportunity to flesh out her character and make her more than just a sister to the Cooper boys. Missy could begin to knuckle down back at school, probably at first as a way for her to escape Texas and her family, but slowly she learns to enjoy certain subjects again. She could also channel her emotions into sports, perhaps excelling in a particular discipline and making the school team. This avenue would not only provide her with an outlet for her feelings, but also offer storylines centered around her character's personal growth. Outside of school subjects, there's always the matter of money hanging over the Cooper family's heads. As she heads into adolescence, it is likely that Missy would take on a part-time job to both help her mother out and also gain some financial independence for herself. This plotline could follow Missy in a Goldie approach, where she keeps trying different Saturday jobs until one finally sticks. It could add an additional comedic element to her story and bring in the option for new characters to flesh out the season with. With so much rich history and untapped potential, there are countless ways an 8th season could broaden the Cooperverse, from exploring Sheldon's academic journey and Meemaw's transformation to Missy's self-discovery. What do you think? Could these plot points shape an exciting Young Sheldon Season 8? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Movie Recap Pro.